Look, up in the sky. It's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's Superman.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Bucket Think Tank for another round of Comic Run Talk, and today we'll be getting back into our new comic run, which will be where we cover Action Comics and Superman as it was in the early days of DC Rebirth. So before we go in, we have to cover a couple of grounds, have to establish some things first, because you have to sort of view this as sort of like one of the opening lines from A Christmas Carol. To begin with, Clark Kent and Superman are dead. Through the entire world, they're dead. Like, that's it. Everyone knows that Superman was revealed to be Clark Kent, and everyone knows that Superman died. The whole world knows it. It was reported. Key figures were there, namely Lana, Wonder Woman, Batman, a guy that looks a lot like Superman, who actually is Superman from a pre-Flashpoint continuity. So from before New 52, that's where this Superman's come from, along with his wife, Lois and John, courtesy of a story called Convergence. Alright? And the new status quo now is, well, let's just get into it. So this story opens up with a pretty standard day in Metropolis, as in, there's a crime going on. A pretty serious crime. Involving a bunch of mercenaries and a building. So we see Maggie Sawyer there, Jimmy Olsen, he's just, getting pictures ready for the eventual reporter to come in. The whole as you do. And the mercenaries are, of course, stopped by a figure who moves pretty fast. There's a Superman S being seen. It's like, oh, okay, who's this Superman? It's Lex Luthor. That's right, because Lex Luthor, as we discussed in our prologue, has resolved that to be better, to be a better person. He's going to be the Superman of Metropolis, the man of tomorrow. And he makes a speech to the world that is heard. It's heard particularly by pre-Flashpoint Superman, who we'll just call Superman for the time being. And he, with his wife, Lois, and son, John, are just settling into their new life on Hamilton under the alias White. It's just a really chill vibe. And here, they've resolved, hey, we're not going to get involved in superhero stuff. I'm not putting on the Superman costume. Everything will be fine. The world had its Superman. Time to move on. Then John's like, Dad, look at the TV. And he sees Lex, like, I'm going to be Superman. And Superman's like,
Oh, hell no.
He runs up, shaves, puts a costume on. Lois is like, what are you doing? And he's like, that's Lex Luthor. I don't care what Earth it is. Lex Luthor is always Lex Luthor. He shows up in Metropolis, tell him to take off the shield, the S, take it off. Lex is like, I don't know who you think you are, but I know who you're not. You're not my mama. You're not one of my friends. You're definitely not my sister, the only person who I would listen to, and you ain't Superman. But you look like him. But you ain't Superman. And it leads to what you think would happen, which would be a Lex Superman fight. Or technically it's Superman versus Superman, depending on who you ask. And just when you think it couldn't get any crazier with the townspeople, who are still weirded out because, remember, as far as they know, Superman's dead. And just when you thought it couldn't get any crazier, a reporter shows up on the scene. And this reporter's name? Clark Kent. And we're like, wait, what? What?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Superman and Lex like, what? The people from like, what? Jimmy Olsen's like, wait, what? But you're him there, and this guy, who we'll call Reporter Kent of the Daily Planet, just Reporter Kent. Reporter Kent goes, what? Lex is like, I don't trust anybody right now, so everybody just shut up. Just shut up right now. I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. He like, Kent, what's going on? Like, what do you mean what's going on? Superman's like, who are you? He's like, I'm Reporter Kent. Don't you know me? Like what? And it just gets out of hand. A fight breaks out. The fight between Superman and Lex continues. And then it turns out that the mercenaries were on the orders of the mysterious Mr. Oz, who we saw earlier in the Rebirth issue, where he tells Superman that, hey, there's more about you and your family than you know. There are secrets about you in the timelines. Woo! This is supposed to pay off later. Woo! It kind of will, it kind of won't. But anyway, turns out the mercenaries were just there to sort of buy time. And what was in that building they were occupying was a vault. And in that vault was something no one would have suspected. Doomsday. And I have to just take a step back and think about exactly what's happened in what has to be the past 5 minutes. In less than 5 minutes. Lex Luthor has declared himself Superman. Superman, who everyone thought was dead, shows up. To the world, Clark Kent is Superman, and then when they're all trying to wrap their head around the fact that Superman should be dead, aka Clark Kent should be dead, Clark Kent shows up. And then, as if to make things a little bit more tense, Doomsday shows up. And Superman's freaking out because remember, this is pre-Flashpoint Superman, aka the one that was actually killed by Doomsday in the comics. Lois is freaking out. Not only is Clark Kent there, but the thing that killed her husband is right there. She's holding on to John. She's getting a little nervous. Lex is like, who is that? Who are you? What are you? What is going on? Superman's like, I don't have time for this. And he's like, okay, so here's what we gotta do. Okay, so fighting Doomsday. We're in the heart of Metropolis. Why are we always in Metropolis when I gotta fight this guy? He's like, I gotta hit him hard, gotta get him away from the city. It's pretty much sort of like the scene from Man of Steel, where Superman is trying very hard to keep this under control. It just ain't happening. And at the same time, reporter Kent is just going around trying to tell people, I'm not Superman. Lex doesn't believe, like, so, you gonna help us? Like, how can I help you? I'm a reporter. You're Superman. I'm not Superman. And then Wonder Woman shows up in the nick of time to save reporter Kent from some debris. And she's like, so, I'm guessing you're not Superman. To which Kent's like, thank you, I'm not Superman. I'm just guessing because, well, you broke your arm there. Superman can't really break an arm from like that. And I don't know. So she's like, put you in a sling. Well, we'll figure this out later. She goes to help Superman. So that's a really cool idea, Superman. You know, you've got this other guy going around as Clark Kent to disprove people thinking that, you know, you're Clark Kent. Superman's like, that's a really cool idea. It was not mine. I have no idea who that man is. Lex like, so you being kind of pathetic and annoying doesn't really tell me you're not Superman, but the fact that you broke an arm and still are letting these people almost die tells me you're not Superman. Kent's like, well, dick thing to say, but at least you're right, I'm not Superman. And it goes on and on from there. And it's sort of like a madhouse. Like, you can follow it, but it's insane with all this stuff going on here. Superman trying his hardest to keep Doomsday contained, even as Doomsday senses another Kryptonian, aka his half Kryptonian son John. He wants to head to Hamilton. Superman's like, no, you can't do that. So he has to knock him back into the city a bit. And then Wonder Woman's trying to help. Wonder Woman's like, okay, so is this my Superman, the other Superman? Lois shows up because, well, she's worried. John wants to help. John can't really help. And then Wonder Woman sees Superman and Lois make out like, oh, you better not be my Superman. And yeah, that was weird. The fight goes on, and it's not boring, but oh my god, it's sort of this really cool way of how Superman is brought back to the world stage, and sort of ironically in the story that took him off the world stage originally. And Superman's got all this, like, who is, like, can I trust Lex Luthor? Who is this Kent dude? You know, how did Doomsday get in that building? What was he just waiting there for? And, you know, they're able to put him in the Phantom Zone, and it's just sort of crazy. Lex and Superman try to talk. Superman still doesn't trust him. Lex is like, okay, rude, but whatever. I do what I want. And then there's a press conference. Everyone's trying to figure out what's going on. Like, Clark Kent's supposed to be dead. Superman's supposed to be dead. So, wait, was that story a lie? Because they're both right there. Someone tries to shoot reporter Kent. Superman saves him. Like, I gotta get to the bottom of this. I don't know who you are. And then it turns out reporter Kent has a story. Is it true? It seems like it. So at Superman's Fortress of Solitude, not the actual Fortress of Solitude that New 52 Superman had, but his own little one hidden away in a mountain. He's like, here, hold this orb. We're gonna scan you, figure out what you are, and we're gonna check your memories, make sure nothing's weird here. Make sure you ain't lying. So he tells a story like, hey, I'm Clark Kent. I grew up in Smallville. My parents died when I was young. My best friend was Lana Lang. I'm a reporter for the Daily Planet. Now, this is where it gets spicy. This is where it gets, wait, what? Superman approached him and said, hey, I know you're investigating this company this company's found out and they're going to be after you, so you need to go into hiding, and I'll be Clark Kent. See how that works? See, I'll pretend to be you, and it'll be fine. Then Lois Lane outed him, and it all sort of went to pot, and then Superman died, and he's like, I guess I can come back now? It's weird, because even Perry didn't know he was back. As far as everyone knew, Superman was Clark Kent was Superman, Superman died, ergo Clark Kent is dead. Yet he's back. So Superman's like, I have no idea what's going on, but let's just roll with this, see how we feel. You can tell whatever. I'd rather you just tell the truth, like your truth, and let's see what's going on there. I am still weirded out. So, reporter Kent makes his report. He writes an article in the Daily Planet talking about what he told him, like, hey, I was in hiding, Superman, blah, 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 New 52. This new Superman is not our Superman, but he means just as well. He wants to help out. He deserves our trust for the time being, so on and so forth. Really good, simple Superman reported stuff. You know, Superman ain't done nothing wrong to nobody, even when we don't notice one. And that's sort of how it ends. Or does it? There's another little trick here. It turns out Mr. Oz pulled Doomsday out of the Phantom Zone as Superman was sending him there. So whatever this mysterious Mr. Oz is planning, Doomsday is involved. Hard to tell. And that's what's really cool about the first story in Action Comics, which I would almost call like the first story of DC Rebirth. Because what this story is putting Superman back on the world stage in a lot of ways. Superman, who had struggled in New 52, was at this point now becoming the hot book to read. All right. Usually it's Batman. We'll be totally honest. Batman is usually the book that you feel you have to read. But this time, for a good period of time, Action Comics and Superman sort of was the book you had to read. Was the book you wanted to read. You were reading one or both of those two books. And you can see why. There's a really cool idea being played here with the concept of truth, justice, and the American way. So the concept of truth is reflected with reporter Kent. You know, Clark Kent, the reporter, he's come to tell the truth. Or he's come to report on the story. Then there's a sense of justice. That's Superman. Superman has come here. He's come to bring Lex Luthor to justice if he thinks he's doing something shady, which, from this Superman's perspective, more than likely, he's doing something shady. You know, bringing Doomsday to quote-unquote justice. And then we see Lex, who's doing the American way, carrying on the legacy of a great hero, proving that you can buy your way to power. And even if it's superpowers, you know, capitalism isn't that bad a thing. It really isn't. But even then, Superman still personifies all of these things. You know, standing up for the big guy, trying to inspire people. That is, in a lot of ways, the American way. You know, the idea of justice, finding out the truth of this weird Clark Kent dude. What was Doomsday doing in that vault? What is Lex up to? You know, he's still trying to figure all that out. And that is, in my view, the first story of DC Rebirth. Was it the actual first story? I'm not gonna lie, I don't really care enough to find out just for me to be wrong. Seems kind of counterproductive. But that's it. So we're going to stop here. Next time, we're going to journey on to Hamilton to see exactly what the Superman family looks like. So anyway, with all of that in mind, let's bring this video here to a close. You have no idea how many times I had to re-record this. Like, oh my God, we're not doing this again. With that in mind, feel free to check out some other videos. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section. Love to hear them, and I will catch you all later. This is Debugger Think Tank signing off. Thanks for watching, and as always, may your fandom serve you well.